Welcome to the Olympus Report, demigods, monsters, and cats alike. Percy Jackson and the RiordanVerse is known for its humor, but that's not what makes these books so special. Here's my pick for the top 5 emotionally moving moments within the RiordanVerse. Number 5. Lester takes an arrow. This scene from The Burning Maze is one of the most emotionally devastating moments from the entirety of the RiordanVerse for obvious reasons. But the part that people don't talk about enough is Apollo willingly choosing to sacrifice himself by stabbing himself in the chest. Also, Caligula couldn't use him for his plans and kill Apollo's friends.
You would never. You don't have a self-sacrificing instinct in your body. Let them go. I press the arrow against my skin, hard enough to draw blood, or you'll never be the sun god.
And that's just the thing. Apollo used to not have a sacrificing bone in his body, but now he's a changed god, and this is the moment we come to realize that.
We both know you're not going to. He lunged with blinding speed, making a grab for the arrow. I'd been anticipating that. Before he could stop me, I cleverly plunged the arrow into my chest. Ha! That would teach Caligula to underestimate me.
Apollo knows he's mortal here. He fully anticipated to die, and it is just so moving to see how far this character has come. He's a changed god, and I remember thinking, wow, that's a real hero. Number 4. Poseidon gives up his pride. This is a first. For the first time on one of these lists, I'm including a moment not from the books, but from the TV show. This was a scene added to the TV show, and I think it was one of the best additions that they added. In the show, the deadline has passed, and Zeus and Poseidon have gone to war. Percy pleads with Zeus to stop, but Zeus refuses to listen to Percy. And Percy, in typical Percy sassiness, insults the god of gods. And just when you think Zeus is going to blast Percy from existence, Poseidon jumps in to save his son's life.
I surrender. What?
Surrendering to Zeus and laying down his pride for his son.
I surrender. Take your victory. Just spare my son.
When I watched this scene, I was moved to tears. The whole show, Percy thinks his father wants nothing to do with him, and then all of a sudden he realizes that Poseidon does love him. The raw emotions from Toby Stephens and Walker Scobell really enhance the emotions this scene makes you feel. I can't wait to see future scenes between these two. Number 3. Hello, Hazel Levesque. Hazel's biggest regret, never getting to say goodbye to Sammy. And Leo, after his mother's death, was thrown out by his family and treated like garbage. From the moment Hazel and Leo met, we knew there was some deeper connection. But what? Well, we come to find out Sammy is Leo's great-grandfather. And Sammy's last wish in life was that Leo, his grandson, was to find Hazel and make sure she's okay. Say hello for him. And if watching Sammy talk to baby Leo wasn't emotional enough, when Hazel and Leo return from the flashback, Leo takes Hazel's hand and tells her,
"Hello, Hazel Levesque," he said, his voice gravelly. Her chin trembled.
3 words carry so much emotion. Hazel, in a way, can finally say goodbye to Sammy, knowing he passed on peacefully, and Leo, in a way, gains a connection back to his family. They healed a hole in each other's hearts that they didn't even know needed to be healed. Number 2. Remember. Really? Are we going to talk about Jason Grace's death again? Well, I think that just proves how much of an emotional impact this scene has had on the fandom. Did Jason deserve better? Yes. But I don't think anyone is going to say that his death wasn't one of the most moving, well-written scenes in the RiordanVerse. I mean, I physically gasped the first time, and absolutely sobbed the second time. And even now, after reading the book multiple times, I still feel as if I'm reading it for the first time. That's how powerful it is.
I'm Jason Grace, he said, former praetor of the 12th Legion, son of Jupiter, child of Rome, but I belong to both camps. Get out of here, he called to us. Go! I watched in horror as Jason and Caligula fought. Jason bleeding from arrows in each limb now, yet somehow still able to raise his sword. He yelled again, Go! Remember! I was slow, dumbstruck. Jason held my gaze a fraction of a second too long, perhaps to make sure that last word sank in. Remember. While Jason's back was turned, Caligula wheeled about. He threw his spear, driving its point between Jason's shoulder blades.
In one sentence, Apollo's entire world is changed, but so is ours. But really, it's Jason's words that make this moment so moving.
Remember.
A message for Apollo, but really a message for all of us. Remember what it is to be human. Number 1. Nico confronts Cupid. To me, the most shocking and most moving scene in the entirety of the RiordanVerse. I had no idea this scene was going to play out this way, but it's exactly the way it needed to happen.
I wasn't in love with Annabeth. You were jealous of her, Jason said. That's why you didn't want to be around her, especially why you didn't want to be around him. It makes total sense. All the fight and denial seemed to go out of Nico at once. The darkness subsided. I hated myself. I had a crush on Percy, Nico spat. That's the truth. That's the big secret. He glared at Cupid. Happy now?
All of Nico's isolation and suffering comes to a culmination, and finally Nico is able to accept who he truly is. He doesn't love Annabeth, he loves Percy. And what makes this scene so special is it's so relatable. Most people have not had an arrow through their chest, or actually was born in the 1920s, died, and then came back to life. But a lot of people have been in Nico's position, hiding something about themselves for fear of being rejected. Even if you're not in Nico's specific shoes, everyone can relate to that. And Nico's bravery, not in the face of danger, but in self-confrontation, is what is so moving to me. This is Nico's first step towards happiness, and I will never not get emotional for him. Man, those were some moving moments. Which moments from the RiordanVerse had you moved to tears? Let me know down in the comments below. But until next time, I'm signing off, and as always, stay safe.